Hello everyone and welcome back. My name is Mahalia. We are in my garage again, which is now going to be my makeshift seed starting location for the time being, and we're going to be using my freezer because it is the right height for it. And yeah, that's just what I have to use while I'm out here. I am going to cover it because I purchased some garbage bags from, I think it was Aldi some time ago, and they're incredibly thin and they're prone to breaking. So I was like, you know what? If they're prone to breaking, this is the perfect application. See, because they tear really easily, and I'll be able to lay them across here just to provide a little bit of protection from the soil and make for easier cleanup. But once I have these, I think I'll probably use two spread across here, I'll be back. So with my partner's help, I now have all of my stuff over here. This is just a regular planter pot that I'll probably use for mixing, like the stuff that'll go into the smaller seed trays. I have a bag of potting soil here, some bone meal, bone meal, and then there's blood meal in this bag. Just to contain it, because at one point I had the bag itself in my house and my cats tore into it. They made a little hole, so I had to figure something out. But I'm gonna grab my trays because I am most excited to use my very new seed blocker. Well, it's not necessarily very new. I bought it last season, and then I was not in the place to really like get into gardening the way I wanted to. But I only purchased this for $13 at the time, and these things can be like $30. So I was definitely grateful that I held on to it. And I'll be using it this year for my flower seeds. I'll probably do, because I think these are 2-inch blocks, I will probably do like 4 seeds per block, because I didn't buy the 1-inch ones, which are super tiny, and I would have started my flower seeds in that. But it is all right. I have my tags in here. Let's see. I want the plastic tags, these white plastic tags, and I have these. Usually what I did last year was start my tomato plants in these, because it allows me to keep them in this particular container a lot longer than in something like this. But I also have a couple different sizes for seed trays, so it's not a problem. What I want to start with, I just need a plain tray. Let me take this out of here. So these trays I actually purchased from Amazon, and they're pretty big. The main reason I purchased them this size is because I already had some seed starting trays. They just didn't come with a base, so I had to make a makeshift base at the time last year just to prevent the water from getting everywhere. And on this, I plan to start. Did I grab it? I don't think I grabbed the flower seeds that I wanted to start. Let me see. That's sage, San Marzano, cucumbers, onions. I thought I grabbed the flower seeds. I'm going to have to go inside to get the flower seeds that I want to start. I grabbed the main ones, the important ones, but I didn't grab those. I've retrieved my seeds, a toothpick, and like a white bowl, so that depending on the size of the seeds, I can dump them into the white bowl, pick them up with the toothpick, and place them, because some of them will be pretty tiny. Okay, so the whole point of a soil blocker is that your soil has to be moist. You'll shove it into these crevices, compact it down, press it onto your tray, press the clicker, and then they'll come out. At least that is what I hope will happen. I've never used it before, so I'm anxious to see if all goes well. Another thing, I lost my gardening gloves last year. They were either swept away by the wind or accidentally thrown away at some point because I left them in something. But nonetheless, I can't find them. So I'm going to use some shop gloves. Some like mechanics gloves essentially. That my partner has. They'll work just as good. Okay. I have my bucket. This has been outside all season. Oh. Okay. My bucket. Where's my trowel? It was just here. I don't know where my trowel went, but I need to open this up. I have scissors. Now I can't find anything. Of course, when I need something, I can't find it. I now have my trowel, my bucket. I'm gonna get some of this soil into the bucket. Would it be easier to use this? Possibly. Nope. Bending. Okay. That's a little bit better. Still not quite, so I'll just use my trowel like I was before. It's a bit too heavy for me to pick up and like dump it, so I'll just have to scoop it in. But honestly, I don't know how much I need to make the soil box, so I'll just have to guess. And more than that. Okay. I think my bucket's like a third full, if you can see in there. I think that'll do now. Almost half. Almost halfway full. What is this for? This is for flowers. So to this one, I'm going to add some bone meal. Bone meal is better for flower producing things. Just gonna pour. It does create a lot of dust, which is why I was tilting my head back. I have compost here. So I've already added a few scoops of compost to here. I'm going to mix it while it's dry first to get the bone meal, compost, and potting soil mixed together. I don't know if you can see the cloud created by the bone meal. Okay, and now it's adequately mixed together, but I have some water in here. It is not necessarily hot, but pretty warm. And you want this to be damp enough to hold its texture. Sorry, not texture. Hold its shape. In the upper left corner of my tray down there, you can see my test run using the soil blocker, and it went pretty well. I think my soil may have been a little too damp this particular time, so I will try it again and hopefully it works out better. I did find this process to be quite tedious, and I thought, I don't know if I'll ever do this again because I don't see how it benefits me in any way, quite honestly. I don't really see that I'm saving any time or space or anything like that. Quite honestly, I would just prefer to use my small seed starting trays, like the really um, tiny ones, and then up pot as things get larger. But yeah, the process was fine. This right here with stuffing each cell, I think that is also user error. I've seen other people use larger like totes that some people may store items like Christmas decorations and things like that when they're not using it, and they'll mix their soil in there so that it allows them enough space to press the soil blocker into the tote and fill it up. The bucket, I could have done that, but I wouldn't have been able to apply equal pressure like with both hands and everything. Um, so I didn't do it, but I think next time I'll just use a larger vessel to mix my soil and then go from there. So I'm not going to completely just like give up on the soil blocker just yet. I'll try to make it work. It just, yeah, I didn't really care for it too much. I know some people rave about the soil blockers and how much they love them. There's also um, a bit of a trick to watering them. Now, you can water them from above, but the thing is, you don't want to water them too heavily or anything like that because you could end up disintegrating your soil blocks and making them fall apart. So most people advise with soil blocking to essentially like bottom water. So then the soil, if it is indeed like parched, it'll absorb it. And then your plant will get what it needs. There are some additional gadgets that you can purchase that'll keep your plant somewhat elevated and not just sitting in the water. There's some where you can use like a cloth at the bottom that sits in the water. And then once the plant's roots have established, their roots will be touching the cloth and it'll absorb water as needed. I just don't have those things yet, so I just have to be really mindful about watering them, possibly just misting them and things like that. When I initially started the seeds, my mom recommended to either use a hard plastic cover or saran wrap to create somewhat of a greenhouse effect. And that's what I did. So I added saran wrap because I don't have plastic covers for these yet, and then I had them sitting on a pet warming mat because I don't have a heat mat and my kittens aren't small anymore. So I don't need the pet warming mat for them, and I just repurposed it and it allowed me to sit two trays on there and it worked out just fine. Most of my flower seeds have now germinated, but I only have, as I said previously, three pepper plants that have germinated, three different ones at that. So those are going pretty slow, but I am happy with the progress of my flower seeds because honestly, I was just a bit afraid of the germination rate in general because all of my seeds are a year old. I purchased them all last year, but I will try again with the soil blocker, probably with my tomato plants and some other things just to see if I can improve my efficiency because it felt like this took forever as well. That's why I only did one tray because it's like I don't want to spend any more time doing it. But I would advise for you guys to still try it out and see if it works for you. You may hear some outside noise. My partner and my neighbor are still working on the car. But here are the flowers I'll be using. I'll try to put a picture up on the screen as well so you guys can see what they look like. This is cherry caramel. There you go. This is pink gin. This is a Snapdragon rocket mix. And my favorite, a cat's ruby. I spoke about the cat's ruby in my last video because it is my absolute favorite, so I'll probably do this whole section just cat's ruby, and I'll decide from there what it is like I'm going to do for the rest of them. For this, it says to sew a 1/4 of inch deep into a 128 cell plug. I'm not doing that. 5 to 6 weeks before last frost, after danger of frost has passed. Harden off plants and transplant to the field or protected structure. Direct seed after last frost. Do not pinch plants. Succession plant every 2 weeks for multiple harvests. Stock is a cool weather crop. Spring and fall blooming successions are optimal. Stock is a member of the Brassica plant family and susceptible to flea beetle predation. To prevent flea beetle damage, cover plants with a row cover at the time of transplanting. So we're gonna open this and see how small they are. Oh no, almost lost my toothpick. Oh, okay, they're not too tiny. I think they'll be pretty easy to see even in here. Wait, there you go. That's what they look like. We'll start out in this row. Some of them aren't the best, but it's alright. Oh, I need to dampen my toothpick 1 second. I still had some water in my bowl back there. After you dampen it, if it'll focus. But I do have a seed on there. I'm going to drop it back here. One in there. That one fell to the side right there. There you go. Yep, it went in there. One right here. One right there. One right there. One right there. Here. And I decided not to split them into 4s, just so that each one could mature well enough. Oop, dropped that one too. In the soil block itself. I'll go ahead and cover that. And I wouldn't have to transplant them several times and, you know, end up disturbing the roots. Okay, so I'm going to cover all of these using my toothpick really lightly. Those were the cat's ruby seeds. These packages resell really well, so I'm just gonna put those back in there. And press it down, reseal it. The next one we'll do is the pink gin. I think these are really pretty as well. I don't know where on the tray I want to put those. I think I'll do the upper one right here, pink gin. Oh wow, these are super duper tiny. They put them in a second sachet. Oh boy. And I believe I don't need to cover these. These need sunlight to germinate. Yes, do not cover seeds. Light aids germination. All right. Got one. It is super duper tiny. I am going to put multiple on these. I think I'm putting a seed on. Honestly, I don't know because I can't see them. It looks like I still have one on here. Okay. I'm just going back through with some more seeds because I truly cannot see these. I think I'm done with those. And I'm gonna put what I can back in there. Yeah, I got some back in here. But they're so small. What's the next one? These feel larger. These are cherry caramel. I'll do this section right here with the cherry caramel. My apologies, my camera died, but now I'm back. And I'm going to do cherry caramel in this block right here. These seeds are much larger. Oop, got stuck a little bit. Okay. But yeah, looking in here, they're much, much larger. at the package. Do I need to cover them? Direct seed, 1/8 inch fine soil. Darkness is required to germinate. Okay. There we go. I actually have never grown flowers before, so this will be pretty interesting. And this one says to thin after a few weeks, so I'm gonna place in another seed right there. Cover that one in the middle. Place in another one right here. Cover it. Let me cover that one in the middle. And then I have already done these two. I'm going to go down this row. Oh wait, maybe I should make a hole right here first. Yep. Okay. Make another hole right here. And another one right there. Now I need to move on to these two. Wait. Hole right here. Grab a seed, put it in there. Cover it up. Put one right there. Onto this one. My garage light just turned off. And then this is the last one. Oop. Okay. Now all of those have been covered. I want to get my seeds back into the package. And then I still need to put something right here. This is Cat's Ruby. This is Cherry Caramel. This is Pink Gin. The next one would be the Snapdragon mix right there. They put the Snapdragon ones. Those are apparently really tiny too. Do these need light to germinate? It says surface sow into an open 20-row flat or perforated seedling container 8 to 10 weeks before last frost. Light is required to germinate. So I guess I'll just sprinkle them onto this right here. Oop. I'll try to show you. They're like as tiny as pepper. So I'm just gonna grab a few and drop them. And now I'm going to move on to the pepper plants, the serious part that I actually needed to do today. And then I think I still have some soil in my bucket that I'll add into these spaces. Technically, it is better that the soil is already wet. Most say to moisten your soil before adding it in here, just so you don't have to really compact it down. I don't know where I put them. Oh, silly me. They're back here. All right. This came with these big trays down here that don't have the holes in them. Now let me grab my pepper seeds from over there. This is my seed collection over here. I picked them out in my previous video. And then I also had to message my mom because there were a couple of items that I forgot. These are hybrid bell pepper. Red rocket. This is Yankee Bell. Orange sweet. Banana. Is that it for peppers? I love bell peppers, so I think I might plant the most of the bell pepper, but let's start off with, this is from Johnny Seed. I don't know if you can see. There you go. It is the certified organic bell pepper Yankee Bell. And I'll lay this right here for right now, just so I remember what they are. The next one is sweet pepper, orange sun. Set that one right here so I know what that is. Do I have another hot pepper? Yes, this is Green Machine. I'll put Green Machine right there. I don't mind having a lot of bell pepper plants. I love bell peppers, and they're quite expensive these days, like $1 per pepper near me, and that's just not a price I'm willing to pay. Actually, I released a video, the one before this one, just going over the different seeds that I have in my collection and which ones I'm planting this year, a bit about why I'm prioritizing those. And I will say I'm starting this many. I don't necessarily say I'll plant this many, but I am starting this many seeds. One for myself as well as my mom, and then I'll gift some to my neighbor as well. I think one just fell in there already. Yep. One already fell in here. But today has been a pretty long day, semi-productive. I'm gonna get most of this stuff cleaned up. I'll probably start some more seeds tomorrow, but I want to thank you all for joining me today, and I hope you have a good one. Bye!